Check. Stop.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to BVI Pilots. I am your host, John, as always. Glad to be here with you. And we've got a guest. I kind of just brought him in on the fly, but he don't mind. He likes doing videos anyway. So, with that said, Brandon, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. I'm back again, folks.
Yeah, how's it going, man? How's your new year going so far?
Going so far, so good. Just watching interesting historical developments, but other than that, going good.
Good deal. I guess you had a good Christmas, good New Year's, all that good stuff.
Did. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Good deal. Yeah, I know that there was also an event. I did not get to take part in that. I don't think you took part in that this past event, did you?
No, I did not.
Well, maybe next time. Maybe the next one we'll be in there. It all depends on what's going on in the real world, right? We got real world versus the simulated
real
world
versus simulated world.
Yeah, and sometimes they go great together, and sometimes you can't connect them. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to do this video personally because the one thing that I don't want confusion, and I don't want a bunch of talk about something that's not facts. You know me as well as anybody else does. Probably better than some do. And I don't do the he said, she said, benarchy. I don't do that. I bring it to the table with the way that it really is. So, how is it then, John? What is the way that it is? Let's start with the BVI community in general. This doesn't connect airlines or said airlines. This is in general, the BVI community. Everybody might have a different view of what is the BVI community, right? What is it? So let's get some opinions going. And if you want to share yours, do it down below in the comment section, because we do have it where you can comment now. So there's no reason why you can't put your 2 cents in on this. Brandon, let's put your 2 cents in on what is the BVI community.
Oh gosh. So basically, as far as what is it, as far as what, like, how do you want me to?
In general, not airline specific, but in general, as in what we are doing every day and what we're trying to accomplish every day with the BVI community.
So we're trying to basically accomplish, getting noticed in the mainstream, basically, and being noticed not for a disability, but for things we can do versus what we cannot do. Flight being one of them, actually. Because there's too many times that we get focused on as far as disability goes, where we have a disability, so therefore said person has disability, you can't do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we want to change that.
It has to be changed, you guys.
It really does.
This is the main goal for BVI is to be able to say, I can fly in a sim just like anybody else.
Successfully.
That's right, successfully.
I want the reviewer mix logged onto the server. I want the reviewer mix join channel root.
We do a lot of
I want
different
the reviewer
things.
mix left channel root. I want the reviewer mix logged onto the server.
Who in the world?
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
But in general, the whole idea is to get a hold of the best technology possible to give us the ability to fly.
Yep.
That is the main goal. The main goal. Now, along with the BVI community, we have several different routes that people are taking. Some use TFM. Some use only FS Tramp. Some use FSX Pilot, where it's called is it called FSX?
Yeah.
FSX Pilot, which is another standalone program. You don't need anything with that. That does everything itself. It just doesn't do good with jets, and that's a new topic for another time. And then you got the new technology coming in with some of the PMDG stuff, which I think is outstanding.
That's going to be a game changer.
Definitely. And I give thumbs up to Andy and Jason both for making it possible to be able to actually fly payware. If you're already flying payware and you're not having any problems, come to us. And you show us how easy it is. If that's something that's already there. Because I can tell you it's not. No way you're doing it standalone. No way. No way. I will not. I don't buy that from anybody. So, it gives you an idea of kind of what I'm talking about with the BVI community. What our goals are and what we want. Then we've got FS Airlines, where you can start your own airline. And there's a few out there. One is BVI Virtual. Good airline, Declan. Where people can fly and they go by kind of a schedule and all this stuff. And that's great. Matter of fact, we're all a part of it. Let's talk about the seriousness behind simming. How serious it is. Or how serious you need to be. Okay, you're going to have to mute him, or not really physically mute him, but tell him. So, the idea between simming is you learn a lot of stuff in there, right? You learn a lot of stuff. You got to learn the entire aviation of flying as you start to fly in the sim. You got to understand what altitude is. You got to understand what vertical is. You got to understand what vertical climb is. You got to understand what all these different things are. What are they? How do they work? And how do I access them? And what is the best way for me to access all of these different functions that are going to give me the ability to fly?
And how do they connect to each other?
Exactly. And how they connect. And so, if you are looking to fly and maybe it's just something you maybe want to do maybe once a month, just to fly around a little bit and say, yeah, I like it, that's fun. And that's it, with no seriousness behind it, I'm here to tell you simming is not for you. It is not for you if you don't take it serious. It is not for you if you are not looking to learn. It is not for you if you're not looking to get taught by others and understand the entire language of flying. Because it really is a new language for us. It really is. Because we got to learn all this stuff. And if you can't accept that and you can't do that, or you're just like, I don't got time for that, then I can't sit there and say we invite you with open arms, because we don't. Because is it worth wasting my time to teach you something that would take several hours to teach, for you to just say, well, I might do it a few times and then maybe I'll fly next month, I don't know. Maybe a few months I'll maybe do a few more flights. That's not serious. Serious is when you can say, I'm going to be doing flights every week.
Declan logged onto the server. Declan joined channel root.
Right? To understand.
Declan left channel root. Declan joined channel.
And hey, we got another guest too, and I'll introduce these guys here in a minute.
Yeah, we got two.
Hey. Hello.
Marshall Mac logged onto the server. Marshall Mac joined channel
So, guys, stand by for a minute. We're
Marshall Mac left channel root. Marshall Mac joined channel.
Hold on a minute. So we got some guests that came in, and this is good because I would like to ask you guys the same question. Now, me and Declan had a conversation yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we was talking about the difference between simming and Eurofly. And just so people know, the developer of Eurofly, I'm not here to knock your stuff down at all. Not at all. Neither is Declan or anybody else. But there is a difference. And in my eyes, the difference is Eurofly is for gaming, simming is for seriousness. That's the comparison that I have for it. if you're not serious, if you're not going to fly every day or every other day or once a week or maybe even once every other week, then simming's not for you. It'd be Eurofly. Now, I will say that maybe you're maybe a slow learner with flying. Then I might say, Declan, maybe they need to go and learn a little bit about flying. Let them start out with Eurofly to get a little understanding to what flying is, because there is some stuff that does make sense as far as kind of how it works. I could point out all kinds of stuff that it's not, but that's not the goal to let somebody understand it. It's just putting them in a plane and letting them get a feel for
very basics.
Yeah, the very basics. That's right. And so let's start with Declan. Let's start with you. The reason I'm doing this video is so everybody understands, first of all, the difference between simming and Eurofly, and secondly, so if anybody has a doubt on, man, why did he do that Eurofly video? Well, there you go. That's why. And again, nobody here is confused about that, but maybe you are, and if you are, well, now you're not going to be, because our goal is to at least give you the information, then you decide what you want to do with it. So, Declan, let's start with you. In general, the BVI community, what is your description of that, to give people an understanding of kind of what we do, but in a general aspect?
Of Eurofly. So, I mean, Eurofly is a very good stepping stone. I use Eurofly, streamed Eurofly, built my YouTube channel on Eurofly. When I knew nothing about aviation, it's a game, but it is. I mean, you got to look at things as they are. Like, I mean, it's free. It's a one-guy project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got to scale it down. It is pretty basic, but it has a very good atlas, and it shows you, like Josh said, some basic features of aircraft. It has real-world aircraft, real-world airport locations in it. So, I mean, it's a very good starting point. I learned quite a bit from it. I had a lot of fun with it, which I think you said in your video. I mean, I've always said the most important thing is having fun. Not that we don't have fun on like P3D and FSX, but it is more serious. You have to actually do some kind of
have to do some work.
Learning. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I had said, Declan, that before you guys made it up here, I'd said, if you're not a serious simmer, then I definitely wouldn't invite you to be in the simming community, because we take it all very serious. All the way down to just putting together a flight. It's all serious. It's not
It's difficult and expensive.
Yeah, and
yeah,
like, I get it. People will spend money on games, but you cannot count simming as a game, and God forbid if you do, I'll choke you.
It's more like an active hobby.
Yeah, because it's just, in Eurofly.
The amount of extensions and add-ons you buy for simming, it can't be a game.
Yeah, you can't.
Too much DLC.
Exactly, you can't say that it's a game. But the point is, there's a big difference between the two. But now, if you guys see a video, and you're like, wait, that's not the regular BVI video, why? Because them guys, they deserve a little bit too. If they don't want to do the simming, that's fine. Let's give them a little bit of the other side of it, the gaming aspect of it, and give them what we can. Because that's the idea is, being able to fly in general altogether, whether it's a game or whether it's simming. What do you guys think on that?
I agree. I mean, because
I agree for the most part.
flying, well, I agree wholeheartedly. Why do you only agree for the most part, Josh? I mean...
Well, I agree. I agree, because I don't know, I'm
Andy,
trying
desktop, logged onto the server. Andy, desktop, join channel root.
I'm kind of in a battle with my Mac right now to try to get my Eurofly save data. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree, pretty much with everything that like.
I mean, if you meet somebody tomorrow, and they're like, well, I don't really want to do the simming side, the serious side.
Thing,
what would you tell them? You would tell them, go to Eurofly.
Go to Eurofly, yeah.
And let's give them what we can. Like, let's because you know what? Maybe later they're going to do that and they'll be like, wow, wait a minute. If simming is 10 times better than this or 100 times better, I want to be a part of that. It might even encourage
As a matter
them
of fact,
that happened
to
to me,
move
yeah.
up.
That's what
I'm
brought
pretty
me
sure
in.
that, I'm pretty sure that Zachary Klein, before he got out of simming again, he played Eurofly, remembered how good simming was, and then got back into simming.
So what's really caught my eye though is Declan, you said that's where you started and that's kind of what motivated you. Guys, he built his channel from Eurofly.
Andy, desktop.
Is that
left
right?
arrow, Andy,
Yeah, the
desktop,
majority
lockout
of my
server.
subscribers, well, I wouldn't say, maybe not the majority, but the first 100, something like that,
The beginning
were
leap.
all from Eurofly streams. And a lot of them now come in and they are Eurofly players. And this, I think it goes both ways. So obviously I play FSX, but even though they're Eurofly players, they like watching me do the realism. They might
desktop,
not
log on to
like
the
it
server. Andy,
themselves,
desktop,
but
join
they
channel
like
with Andy,
watching me
desktop.
do it. And, you know, it can work the other way where even though I sim, realistically, it doesn't mean just because someone's playing Eurofly, I'm going to judge them. Like, it's not up to me. So,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I still get comments asking me why, when am I gonna play Eurofly? I mean, I haven't really done as much as Declan, but I've done enough to where people are like, oh, why are you not playing this anymore?
I gotta say, I gotta
Yeah,
bring up
yeah.
one point. I think the most interesting thing is the people that I hear criticize Eurofly when they do that and the sim, and they just say things like, "Oh,
Apps on cursor,
Eurofly's
normal cursor.
trash. I don't like it. I don't support it." I think most of them do that because they come from it. They start out simming and then they go to Eurofly and see
Well, that doesn't
how
work.
it's scaled. No, I agree with that. I agree it doesn't work, but I think that's what
I think
the
that
process they do is.
I think that's pretty much how I mean I was. I think I had started because the whole plane thing came out before Eurofly, so I did that for like a month or so, and then Eurofly came out. I played
Well,
it,
and the thing
then-
is, when I did a video the other day on Eurofly, I was amazed on how many people I completely swept off their feet by doing it. I'm like, listen, guys, this is that we definitely involve our BVI airline for sure, BVI virtual. That is a top notch thing that all of us are very serious about, and we do everything we can to introduce it to the world and to people that maybe want to, they want to fly and they don't know where to go. Then we introduce that, but we can't leave those that don't want to do
Can't
that
leave
hanging.
the ones that don't want to fly.
So you guys, now granted, you're not going to see a lot of videos of Eurofly on the channel. I can guarantee you that.
right?
You might see a few, 2 or 3 videos, and then that's it. Because I'll tell you, I went through it, and it just doesn't grab my attention as much as what we do now, right? Like I went through.
I can understand that.
Went through menus. I did a flight. I did a few flights, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that plane completely just crashed into me. That should have never happened. In the real world, it would have never happened that way.
No.
Right?
And that's,
You
that's
would've
one
knew-
thing that I've always been critical of.
The airport's not going to be like, okay, we're just going to put you up in the air, take off, go. Right? They're going to
No.
tell you where to go, where to climb, what to do, and then all of a sudden you're flying. Next thing you know, boom, you're hit. It's over. It's like, oh yeah, that happens. No, that doesn't happen. So
and it's
that's
funny
why I got to look at it
because-
from a game perspective. It happened in
Yeah,
the game
and
world, and that's fine. But in the simming world, any of you right now would say that would never happen. If it did, something badly is wrong with the whoever your operator was that directed you to take off.
And it's
And
funny,
that-
John, you bring that up because I actually had a debate with several people. I don't remember if you were on the Eurofly list, Declan, when Sarah and I had that debate about airports closing, and I basically said that doesn't happen in real life, and she tried to tell me, oh yes, it does, and I said,
Well, airports can
where does
close
it
in real
happen?
life. Yeah, they most definitely can close.
Yeah, but no, I agree, but not for just due to technical reasons we're closing. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, I forgot my battery charger. Let's shut down the airport so I can go out to the car and grab that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you circle
5
around
foot
and it
from the
opens
runway.
again.
What-
5 feet from the runway.
The other thing I didn't
Hi,
realize,
guys.
and
Hey,
by the
Andy.
way, guys, I need to go around and introduce everybody because we just kind of had like, everybody's here to see us today. We got Declan. Declan, by the way, we're doing a video here covering stuff. Welcome to the video. We've got Josh.
Hello.
Josh, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Good deal. And then we've got Andy. Andy, welcome to the video.
Hello.
And then we got another one that hasn't spoke yet, Mr. Marshall. Marshall, welcome to the video. Are you with us?
Oh, hey, welcome.
Okay, yep, he's alive. Good. I thought it was
Kind
okay.
of, I was
Good
kind
deal.
of, I was kind of out of it, mixing something.
And then we got Brandon. No, it's good, man. I think it's good we're all here because everybody can share their opinion instead of just being a one-person opinion, or whatever. So, Declan, you was going to say something, and then Brandon picked it up. What would you
I
going to?
apologize.
What would you going to?
Oh, I think the one mistake the Eurofly developer made, and this is probably not his fault because English isn't his first language, is
Right.
if you go on the website, it says Eurofly is a simulator for blind people, etc. And I think people expected it to be a simulator. If he had marketed it as a game, an Atlas, it would have been received a lot more, with a
Favorably.
lot more. Yeah, exactly.
It
more
would have
favorably
even
because-
maybe went further
Yeah.
because, let's be honest, if you're looking for a game and you come across something that says sim,
Sim.
you're gonna be like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do something non-realistic. So, so to the one that runs Eurofly, maybe think about that. Maybe think about,
And play to your strengths.
yeah, it
Because it's a
could.
good game.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
if Eurofly 3, if he really wants to transform it into a simulator, I guess time will tell, I guess. But
I mean, I guess he very well could, but I think Declan made a good point. This is a one-man project.
there's no way. That
Well,
it's
and
gonna
I think he even said in the beginning on some of the email lists a couple of years ago, he said, I intended this as an Atlas, but put a gaming aspect over the top of it so people could actually have fun and learn, if I remember
Yeah.
right.
Right. So now that everybody understands that, those that are
It wasn't
watching,
even supposed to be a game in the first place.
No.
It was supposed to be an educational.
The other thing I'll make a point out that I got confused about when I first started with it. I heard on some videos that was mentioned Eurofly, so I'd go literally look up Eurofly, and I would find an actual airline called Eurofly that merged with Italiano Air
Yes.
some number
Yeah,
of
Eurofly,
years
okay.
ago, and so it's like, no, what used to be Eurofly is not a real airline. It's that's where I got confused. I'm like, what
Yeah,
the heck?
and-
Why
and-
is this mentioning
Yeah,
a
it
merger
confused me
between
too.
two
Well, and I will
airlines?
say this: because I'm not a pro at Eurofly, that's for sure. I'm not a pro at simming. I mean, I'm good, but if you got a question about Eurofly, there are much higher qualified people than myself to maybe answer some of that. So it doesn't mean you can't come on the channel and throw a comment in or send an email to, you got to remember we've got the BVI Pilot podcast. Throw an email there. Maybe Declan might know something that might be able to
I'll go
help
on the
you.
Eurofly mailing list. Eurofly has its own mailing list, and there's a lot of people on there who love Eurofly and play
there
all the
you go.
time. I'm sure they'll help you out.
Then that would be the
So
real
it's
answer.
on Groups.io. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say that many like in that previous video, many thousands of dollars have been lost on crash Cessnas.
Yes.
Like with botched takeoffs like
I can't
that.
tell you guys
Let
how many
me-
times I've crashed an aircraft.
Another thing to point out about how serious simming is, and I guarantee you everybody that's sitting here right now will be nodding their heads in this. I've spent a lot of money, and I'm sure others have too. A lot of
Yep.
money. I've got a yoke that costs well over $300, and that Josh will tell you that was after I'd done spent a decent amount on other stuff, and so have you guys. Declan spent money. Marshall, I'm sure, spent money. Josh, I know
I
Josh
have.
has definitely spent money.
Yeah.
Brandon spent. We all have spent money.
I spent even
and
more
so
money on PMDG.
Yeah.
if it
Me
was just
too.
a game, would we have spent that much? Probably not. I wouldn't. have.
Probably not.
I wouldn't spend several $100s if it was just something that was a game and that was it. This is serious stuff. We go by live airports. We go live. We have the VAT sim community. That's another topic right there alone. Or we'll be doing a video for hours.
Yes.
If you want us to touch it, maybe we'll pick it up on our podcast. Me and Declan could maybe
minutes,
do a
y'all.
podcast covering that.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, Marshall. Good deal.
Okay.
Before I end this, though, if you guys have questions on simming or on Euroflight, it's fine. You can ask. I can't give you much on Euroflight. I can try, and I don't mind trying to help somebody. Join the mail list. That's going to be big for you, really, with Eurofly. But simming, keep the questions coming because we've got someone that's got an answer every time. With that said, before we close, I'll go around. If anybody's got anything to add about simming or Eurofly, we'll start with you, Declan, and we'll go around the table.
I think you just got to put it in perspective, right? Eurofly is what it is. Like I've said before, I don't care if people fly paper planes around their room. As long as they're enjoying it, it doesn't affect me. I mean, there's different levels to this. You got to accept people have different levels of time and money and energy they want to put into it. So
Yeah, yep, absolutely, I agree. Let's go over to Josh. Josh, we'll throw you up next.
I mean, I'll say that. I mean, from time to time, I'll occasionally, fire up Eurofly. I mean, it's very seldom, but I mean, I'll fire it up sometimes if I don't want to load the sim, load Active Sky, load like 15 different programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I mean, for that part, it's pretty good. And with the autopilot system in Eurofly, it's actually it'll the full autopilot system in Eurofly, it's actually not bad. I mean, it's a nice, relaxing. You can just it feels almost like simming in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot to Eurofly. Like we would be here all day if we started going on about it. Because starting out, if you don't got mods, you're stuck in the beginning, and that's no. So yeah, it's just one of them things, man.
Well, you're stuck in the beginning, no matter even if you get my enhanced mod, you're still kind of stuck in the beginning if you want to.
If you want to learn it, start at the beginning.
Unless somebody gives you a save file or something.
Well, I mean, it's like joining, like for example, if you're in the simming and you join our airline, you're not going to be doing a long haul right from the start. You're not going to be doing these advanced flights. We'll be like, oh yeah, we'll put you in that plane. Who cares? Just $1 billion plane, no big deal. What are you going to do? Wreck it? Like, it's all very serious, and I'm curious to see what happens with the upgrade in Euroflight. I would like to see. I do want to see what that is. I do want to see what they're doing with it because I'm curious. But anyway, moving on, we'll go over to Andy. Andy, is there anything you want to add to, Euroflight, to real sim? Anything you want to throw in there?
I want to make it's kind of an interesting point. And it's actually part of my story on how I even started simming in the first place. So, and I'll make it short. Back sometime in February, Sarah put on one of the NVDA lists about ideal flight in FSX. Well, I remember FSX from back in the Flight Simulator 95, 98 days. And I was wondering if it was the same thing, if it wasn't the same thing, so I checked it out. Well, I happened to find her library feed, and I was like listening to how do blind people fly in the first place? I'd never even heard of such a thing. So I listened to like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of her flights.
Wow.
Top to bottom, one right after another, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. And she would have like the Eurofly thing going. You could tell there were trademark sounds in it that anybody used to Eurofly could pick up, but then she'd go, let's say, in the next video, and she'd be flying something else, like P3D or FSX or something, and it's like, okay. And I actually had to ask her, using the Eurofly for all of this stuff, and she said, no, I'm not using Eurofly anymore. And the main thing is that sometimes it can be difficult, if not impossible, to tell the difference if you're watching a video.
Well, I think anybody that does a video, be clear about what you're doing.
Yeah, so if you're watching videos of any of us doing some stuff and you think it might be Eurofly, just ask.
Yeah.
Somebody will probably tell you.
If for some reason in the title, and well, the other thing too, read the description, because usually, at least I try to at least put something in the description that will, help them realize what it is.
Well, yeah, because sometimes people won't put in the description using P3D or FSX. They just put going from San Jose to Vancouver or whatever.
And listen,
and it's like, how in the world? Because she'd be like, American Airlines from Portland to Philly. It's like, how the heck are you doing that in Eurofly?
And I'm going to be blunt to a viewer. We all know who this viewer is, and I'm just going to be blunt because that's who I am. You asked a question that was very just ridiculous, dude. Seriously. You asked how I was connecting Euroflight to P3D. You've been around the simming community long enough. You know better than that's not even near. It's not possible. Why would I connect Euroflight to P3D, my friend? God, it's not going to happen. Okay?
It just doesn't happen.
You've been simming long enough. You heard the giggles in the background. You know why? Because we're all like, wait a minute, he knows better. You know better, dude. Don't do that. Don't embarrass yourself, because that's exactly what you've done with that question. How did you do it? I'd like to really learn more about that. You cannot.
Oh, goodness.
And I'll say it one more time just in case your ears were clogged. You cannot connect Euroflight to P3D. Game versus reality, my friend. Simming is a reality world deal. Euroflight is gaming. So don't respond with the book. Okay? Other than that, we'll jump over to Brandon. Brandon, last statements. And I mean, I don't want to sound like an ass, but how do you answer such a question?
You're absolutely right. I cannot believe
Declan's holding his breath. I know he's ready to start laughing.
I was trying not to laugh, but no, I agree with what Declan said in the beginning. You got to look at it from different perspectives. Like, if you want to fly in a sim, fly in a sim. If you don't, and you want to just do gaming, then don't. Just fly in Eurofly. I mean, it's
that simple.
All what we're willing to put into it.
You want to play the game, go play it.
Yeah, I didn't. Adding quick thing. I didn't mind Eurofly. It's nice. It's good. If you just want to hop into a plane, hit a go button, and there you go. No big deal. If you want these challenges where it says, you have to fly around this country, you can't enter inside of it, you have to fly through these particular countries, no other choice. Cool. Now, I had the wrong expectations of it based on muddled between Eurofly and P3D and FSX is, I think, what my problem was. Yeah. And I wanted more out of something than Eurofly, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I
think that's why we all got into simming anyway.
Yeah, and I will add, before we go here real quick, guys, I will say this to the developer. You've done a good job with what you got. Euroflight's a good game. It's good. As a matter of fact, there's a few features where I'm like, man, I wonder if we could get that in the real sim. So trust me, your game does do something. It does put ideas in our minds that are on the other side of the spectrum of this, right? when we're like, hey, that'd be
Oh, and that's the thing is that the sim doesn't you can't do missions where you have turnaround flights. I mean, yeah, you can devise turnaround flights, but you can't.
right.
It's not the same as in the Eurofly.
So, to the gamers, you guys continue to enjoy Euroflight, and if I can answer a question, I will. I'm sure Declan would do the same. But we do suggest you go to the email list. And those that want to sim, even if you're new and you don't want to do the game thing, then we definitely encourage you to join us here at BVI Pilots. So with that said, this turned into a good video. I didn't realize we have so many guests, but we got them. They're here.
Stop recording.
But anyway, it's good having you guys. I appreciate you guys doing this with me. It was kind of unscheduled on your side of it because you had no clue, but, well, now you know. You never know what's going to happen up here on BVI, I'm telling you. So,
Exactly.
all right, guys. Brandon, thanks for being a part of it. Guys, remember, we do have the BVI Pilots podcast that occurs about every 2 weeks. We do a new show. Matter of fact, Declan he's the main runner-up for that show, and we try to bring you a show every week. So be sure to look for that on Apple. Really, we're on almost every platform, I believe. So you should have no trouble finding that. But other than that, till next time, you guys have a good day. Be sure to tap on that subscribe button and join us here at BVI Pilots. Don't forget to set your notifications. By the way, had someone message me, I'm not getting notifications. Go click that notification button. You would be amazed what happens when you set that to always instead of, what is it? Personal or whatever it is. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. We're going to do some flying. Y'all have a good day.